Hello and welcome. So, a new day is dawning. The sun will start shining in just a minute over my base here. And I have completed building a little truck to go around and help me do some hand mining. I still want to go ahead and build an excavator of some sort. However, I've been doing a bunch of testing in creative mode and haven't found one that actually functioned well without tipping over. So I'm holding off on that for a bit. So in the meantime, I was trying to figure out what to do next, and came uh, with the idea that I want to go ahead and build a little building that would let me go ahead and build small flying vehicles. Um, as you can see, I have gone ahead and laid out a little pad right over there with a connector already hooked up in the middle, and I will be going ahead and building that building with you guys today. As part of that, I have also extended this walkway from right over here between my residential building and my garage, and now it branches off right on over here. I have down here a nice little support pillar holding it up. No, it's not technically actually needed, but it looked like it was good. And then I have the walkway going in both directions, one of which will be going to my flight center, and the other which will be going to another building that is undecided. Um, Other than that, I've just been doing a bunch of hand mining to make sure I've got the resources I need, and here comes the sun. So let's get to work. So, one fun thing I've got right here, I showed this in the last one, I believe, or one before. I've got the truss lighting that's coming up and then back to the center. So this is an offset truss, then an angle with a truss light on top, and I did that exact same thing right over here. Next, when we come on over here to my little pad here, you will note that you can see a little bit of stuff right there because I ended up digging underground to connect this over here to the garage. So this is fully linked up via conveyors, and that's also why it is all still part of the same grid. I was doing some experimenting down here with exactly what I wanted to do, and can turn my lights on, and you can kind of see what I was doing with running that conveyor on over. As you can see, I'm clearly a master of doing a straight line, because, that's clearly where my tunnel went. Um, Additionally, I have decided that I want to continue my practice of trying to hide my air vents. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little experiment to see if some Willis vents that are face to face will bring air up from this air vent down here, up through the sides and into the main building. So let's go ahead and get started with that. I need to go ahead and get 6 Willis vent pieces. All right, and I need to start with the Willis duct 2, because this is the one that has the vent on top. As you can see coming down here, I did go ahead and place some blocks around this. So as long as I put something in here, it should be airtight. And seeing as I did the same thing in the garage over there and it worked, we should at least get the venting up into this section. Alright, so venting into this section done, now for the fun little experiment. If I take this exact same Willis vent, and I turn it so that way the vent is facing down, will air pass through? I am going to operate on the assumption that the answer to this is yes, and if it turns out that the answer is no, then I will have to figure something else out. Alright, but when we come up on this side here, you will see that right now it will vent out to the sides, but because I still have terrain there, this is not actually going to be airtight if I put the walls up and so on. So I want to now go ahead and grab the Willis duct. Um, Find the correct one. Here we are, the Willis duct ramp. So the ramp changes the Willis duct height from basically the top of the block to the bottom of the block. So if I put this in here, we can see that that should bring this up, and then I can go ahead and put another Willis duct with the vent facing upwards on this side. All right. And then we can see here's the Willis vent here. So now let's go ahead and put those in. Now, let's be 100% clear. None of this is actually necessary. You could just go ahead and, say, stick the, what's called the air vent fan in the floor, and it will work perfectly fine. But I like hiding that because that seems like something that you would do. So we're going to go with that. Alright, next up, I want to go ahead and get a door. So for the door, go ahead and get my green. Now that's a corridor, not a door. Alright, that's a door. So I could go ahead and put a little sliding door on right here. That's what I did in the garage over there. But I actually kind of want to use this sliding hatch door. And grab the pieces for that. There we go. Alright, so that is now connected up. Let me also go ahead and... That's not what I wanted. No. There. Alright. Pressing the right buttons, it helps. Alright, so I'm going to come on over to this side and place my sensor down here. And that will be the sensor that I use to go ahead and detect if I'm coming in and want the door to open or close. Alright, now let's go ahead and put some walls up. So let me just grab a lot of steel plates. Alright. And then I'm going to come over here, and the first thing I'm going to do is place a pair down like this. And then let's put some half blocks down. Then over here, grab the half block slopes, or half slopes I should say, and then finish putting my walls up. Alright, so that's the first layer of walls. Alright, and now this area is deemed safe from puppy dogs. Perfect. Alright, so the next thing that I want to do is I want to be able to more easily get in and out. So let me go ahead and stick a pair of stairs down, and then let me continue on with my catwalks. we go. Alright, so now I can walk up and out. Perfect. Alright, so the next question is how am I going to be going ahead and getting ships in and out of here? Well, since they can just go straight up, my plan here was actually to go ahead and have the roof opening. Now, similar to the garage, there's two major options. The first is I can go ahead and use a pair of gates. So if I go ahead and I just place this down really quick so you can see it better, you can see that if I use this gate, I'm going to go ahead and have, a reasonably sized gap. So this is about, 2 blocks, or 2 full blocks high by 3 blocks wide with a little indentation there. Which is going to be a limit of, one moment, let me do the math in my head. It's 5 little blocks, so it's basically, I could have something that's 8 little blocks high and about 12 little blocks wide. Now, that is fairly large. However, that is also smaller, than I believe, than my little vehicle right over there. Now, I could put two of them side by side, but again, I think the best thing to do is, just like I did with the garage, go ahead and use the big airlock doors. So with me wanting to use those airlock doors, then the next question is how high do I want this? So if I have this be too high, so basically I put the roof on one above this, this is going to go ahead and limit me to about 10 blocks, 10 small blocks tall for any flying vehicle. This is probably enough, but just to be safe, let's go up one more level than that. So, let's see here. I want to come back into here, and I want to grab this, and then grab this. Alright, whoop! Not safe from doggos if I fall out of my walls. Alright, so if I'm going up this tall, then I'm going to have 3 blocks high, and then I would need to have basically 6 blocks for the gate. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I could either go ahead and have the gate start right there, or I can go ahead and I can push out this way one, and instead have the gate basically start along this line, and then it's going to push a 2 over on this side. So I think I'd rather have a little bit more protection from the elements on this side. So let's see here. That means that I'm going to want a solid block there. And then I want to grab my gates. And for this one, let's go with that hangar door. And let me just dart over here really quick to grab my color. There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead, come on up here and just weld all this up. Alrighty, and here we go. So this is going to be where that is, and then if I go up on the other side, 1, 2, 3. All right, and then weld that up. So this is then going to be where the top of the building is. And we can see from the inside that this is more or less what it's going to look like. And overall, I think I am fine with this. So let's go ahead and build up my walls. And get a bunch of steel blocks. All right. Okay, and now I need to find the right kind of slope that makes that look nicer. So let's see here. So it's a 5. Nope. What about a 4? Nope. That's close, but not quite. If I go with a 6, let me do the transition base mirrored. That is also not going to play nicely. Why are there no? I swear this is far from the first time that I have gone through and looked at this to try and figure out some sort of way to make this play nice, and been unable to find something. I mean, that would work if I was trying to go for an angle, but I'm not. Um, but actually, if I go, I think it was this one. Yeah, I think that's the best. Whoa, that I'm gonna get. Okay. Alrighty. And I gotta stand in just the right place. Okay. And eat some food before I starve to death. Alright. And then I need to do one more layer. But first, alright, so from here, this is going to be over the center line. And the question is, do I want to extend it all the way out to the edge, or do I want to have one kind of layer of blocks? So that would mean it's basically going to be the difference between 5 wide or 7 wide. Huh. Well, let's go ahead and grab a few sets. Alright. And then if I come on over here and not die from my stunning acrobatics. Alright. Alright, so basically if I push it all the way to this edge, then hmm. Or I could look at doing something like this. And that would let me. Thank you. That would let me go ahead and have a little bit more greebling across the top to make it look less like a box. Yeah, let's go with that option. So let me go ahead and finish up this side, and then I will go deal with my energy problems. Hello, puppy dogs. It's so nice to hear from you again. Um, wait. Over here. Ooh, hang on a second here. So there, I chose to go ahead and start sloping. Yeah, let's actually go ahead and keep that slope then. And I can also, well, let's make sure this is fully attached before I start doing that. That would probably be the smarter choice. And then I want to do this. There we go. Yeah, so it goes straight up and then starts a little bit of a slope. And alright. Now that that's done, let me come on over and fill up my energy. Now let's sit down and have a snack while I do that. There we go. All right. Okay, so with that, doing that, I need to go ahead and clean off that side to go ahead and put the slope there as well. So let's go ahead and do that. This is connected on that end, so I will be safe to fully disconnect this side. So let's go ahead and start by grabbing this. Yep, there we go. There we go. And then now I just need to do that same thing with this little back wall section here. So these are connected side by side, but I'm not entirely sure if this connects to this or not. So I'm going to keep those in place until I go ahead and put the armor on the back. And now I can disconnect these two pieces. All right, so there we go. That is going to be that. And now I can come on down here. And put those two up. All right, and there we go. So this is going to be the hangar doors. And now I just need to finish up putting up my shell. And again, like usual, this is going to go ahead and start out as a dark box, and I will probably have to go ahead and finish decorating it in next episode. But let's go ahead and finish this up. Alright, so that is the second level up, and we are almost done with the basic shape. But we are definitely done with our blocks. Alright. One of these days, I will learn to stop doing that. That day is not today. Okay, and then I believe it was number 5. Yep, that looks about right. All right. I just need to finish the top layer, which let's go ahead and start by grabbing I will have to recolor those once I get up there. Alright, so that is that. Recolor my gates. And then alrighty. Whee! I'm into my dark layer again to try and jump off the sides naturally. Alright. Almost done. Alrighty. So now I just need to finish welding up all of this, and then we get to check to see if it is airtight or not. There we go. Alrighty. And now because it decided to turn warm outside, um, I don't know if it's airtight or not. Lovely. Alright, what if I just come on over here and find the thing that I had that on, okay. And just stick an air vent on the side here. There we go, airtight. Perfect. Alright, so I will go ahead and remove that air vent later. But for now, we can see that this is now fully airtight, protected from the elements. Um, when I come in here, nope, sorry, I can go ahead and come to grab the airtight hangar doors, and these are going to then all turn into, what should I call this? Yeah, just call that Hangar roof doors. And now I can go ahead and open this. And there we go. It is now fully open and operational. And as you can see with that open, of course, it's no longer pressurized. So, you know, we're not protected from the elements, but with it closed we are. And now we just have to go ahead and make this place look good. But we are already quite far into the video, so I'm going to go ahead and save that for the next one. If you watched all the way to the end, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.